If you were there and present during the live stream today, which by the way was incredibly exciting, you would have been ready and you would have been loaded up at that 540 bottom before eventually finding that $6 top. Let's go ahead and go over the potentials for the following days because we have stacking upside signals, team. Welcome back. Let's get to it now. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is ARCa coming at you with an FNGR technicals, raw price action, and statistical thread of analysis on this Hump Day Wednesday. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called ARCa Bulls. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. Okay, team, go ahead and take a look at that big old sign right there. What does that say? Man, oh man. That's right. We got the golden cross. Here it is, team. The golden cross is happening. Price action essentially ripped to the upside upon that validation. Of course, it was a little slow in real time, right? But very incredible price action coming out of this daily golden cross, team. This now is giving us a higher probability for a continuation to the upside since we did get that simple moving average 50 period or 50-day simple moving average crossing upside of the 200-day simple moving average. Very sought after moving average crossover strategy. Okay, team. Another thing that we want to point out, team, is actually something very, very curious. We were talking about this during the live stream as well. Check this out. We got a daily bullish engulfing printed right over here, and it is absolutely 100% valid. This candle formation here, especially on a daily time frame, gives it a higher strike rate than that of the 5-minute or 15-minute or 1 minute. Right, so this giving us a huge bullish engulfing alongside the golden cross, team. Everything is looking pretty magical here. There could be a continuation to the upside as soon as tomorrow. Okay, team. So what I can say as well is that we're knocking at the door of that $6 top, that $5.99 top. We keep on rejecting there, but it's pretty indicative that the bulls are not done, right? So the volume traded today slightly under yesterday's volume at 1.2 million. You are looking at about 938,000 shares exchanged today. Okay, so very, very awesome volume still presented. Another good thing that we can look at here, team, is that overall we are in an upward trend in volume, right? So if we are in an upward trend with volume, when we are inclining price, that is still bullish conditions. Okay, team. Another thing that we can do to validate that we are within bullish conditions is, of course, let's take a look at the ARQ algo that we just released just a couple weeks ago that has been super helpful for us during this upside. Take a look at this. The bulls are at an 80% control over the bears 20%. Very, very impressive times. One more thing we can take a look at here is, in fact, the armor indicator. Take a look at this. Just 2 days ago, we got that long signal printed right at about 513, and it has still not printed a short signal, right, team? So this is the indicator that has that magic sauce for long signals. Take a look at this. Long signal printed right down here at around 141. If we would have taken that trade from the daily time frame, the ARQ armor indicator, even look at this, even with this sharp pullback, never said that it would short, right? So or take profit, right? So in fact, it had us take profit at the opening of this candle here upon validating that there could be a continuation to the way down or a sharp decline, measuring a 304% move to the upside here. Very impressive times coming out of the ARQ armor and DBSI algorithms that come in the package together. Go ahead and get in touch with us at that email so you can get yourself situated and loaded up with the tools, right, that make some winners here, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at the bi-weekly chart here. This is the Gaussian bands that we're looking at, right, team? So I mean, this is essentially the top side that I wanted to see yesterday, right? We didn't get it, and it's clearly because there is a psychological target right at that $6 top. Right, so if anything, I would have already notified you that I'm seeing a tweezer top here that could essentially shove us to the downside here, just like this tweezer top did, right? But notice here that it's not over. 8 days and 19 hours for this candle to close. Not a tweezer top. Man, that is a signal just gone out the window really fast, team. In fact, what we should be looking at is this, right? So back from that dollar target breakout, we got that mean band test right back down to validate the newly converted resistance of the bottom side of the bands. And as a support right now, that's a conversion into support. We got that bounce to the upside. We are now testing the upside, the top band, and we retraced and validated the mean band before a continuation onto the upside. That, what I just described to you, team, is absolutely how price action tends to behave when creating new higher highs and higher lows. Okay, very, very impressive times coming out of this. Here's the next thing to look at. Okay, first of all, Sebastian Lim, our analyst, pointed out that the buy daily, let me just get this out of the way. The buy daily golden cross is the one that's next, right? Go ahead and take a look at this. We're already getting very close to the golden cross on the buy daily. We are cascading all of these golden crosses into the larger time frames. That team is very bullish, okay? So now the next thing to look at, I don't know if this can happen before that, but actually more than likely the buy daily would happen, right? But this is the silver cross about to happen on a bi-weekly chart. Team, we already got it. We were talking about this weekly cross of the silver cross on Monday, July 24th. We got it. And look at what the price action did. Okay, now look what we're doing on the bi-weekly. We're approaching the bi-weekly silver cross now. Okay, so we are cascading all of these. They're all is a domino effect right now. Okay, team. So all of these things are falling into play. It's very impressive. Okay, team. So I have some targets right from the live session today for us to take a look at. Okay, so we of course we touched on the target that we talked about yesterday too, the $6 to 592. Right, of course we got it. But the upside targets in a closer proximity, just so that you can be kind of aligned here with the play, are first of all the range between 614 and 629, and then 649 to 660. So overall, that resistance range is pretty much this right here, consolidated into a certain area, right? 646 to 717 top with a focus at about 683. Okay, team, that's essentially where I believe this price action can go. And another indication here that we are in just this massive macro breakout is actually this, right? So please take a look at this indicator. This is the Gaussian bands again, but this time we're looking at on the bi-monthly chart. Okay, so go ahead and notice that we closed at 574. And if you can take a look right here, the support line, the very top side is 542. That very area where we loaded up today before we got a massive upside. Okay, so that is what we are literally in the process of converting the Gaussian top band on the bi-monthly into a support before continuing on to the upside. And let me tell you, the last time we did that, we faced a 700% move to the upside, marking a $17 top. Okay, so I'm not saying that it's going to happen this time, but I am telling you that there are some pretty interesting signals happening right now. And as we're validating the top side of the bands, just like we did here, huge validation there, bam. All right, so let's just go ahead and see what happens within this ticker, team. I love the price action, and I love that we're getting these plays done live. We're calling the supports, we're getting those resistances, we're knowing exactly what's happening, team, live. We're charting it. That's the way it works, team. That's the way it happens. Don't let anyone tell you you can't chart it. Yes, you can. All right, so let's go ahead and continue on the analysis here, team. Please take a look at the hourly time frame here, finding a little bit of consolidation within the RSI, right? So another thing we want to notice here is that the bi-hourly time frame is suggesting a potential downside here, but that downside appears to be very limited due to the fact that the hourly is about to find support from the SMA 14. As soon as we get that bounce to the upside, this bi-hourly iteration would essentially correct and continue on to the upside. The 4-hour time frame is still within that upside. In fact, it's in the gravitational zone of the bull weakness percentile with an upside pivot on the SMA 14, indicating a higher probability of crossing the SMA 14 on an upside pivot, which is very bullish. Okay, another thing to indicate that we have found a potential bottom. Of course, team, we can see again, we can literally come back to the targets of around 542 again, no problem, and we would continue onwards. It's still okay. All right, so yeah, definitely notice here on the 8-hour time frame, we are bouncing right off of the SMA 14. I think we talked about this yesterday. We would bounce from the SMA 14, face the upside, and also face the support from not only the SMA 14, but from the gravitational zone of the bull weakness percentile, facing that upside just like we said. Okay, another situation just like we said right here, exactly the same way. Get that retracement. We get right into that area of the bullish. I'm sorry, the gravitational zone, right, and then face that support from the SMA 14 upside pivot. And this is pretty much consolidation here on the 3-day. I assume that the larger time frames are essentially just kind of pensive and waiting for that upside to be validated from the short-term time frame momentum. Everything is looking good, team. I'm not seeing any threats in the market. Of course, anything can happen, right? Anything can just send this thing straight to hell, and we would all be done. But this is why we practice like pro traders. This is why we condition the way we do. We make sure that we have our risk management in line. We make sure that we have our stop losses to control the stops, right? We're going to control our losses, make sure to keep those losses tiny, and we make sure to keep those gains large. Okay, team, that is the way that you can be able to tell a professional trader from another one. Look at their P&L. Take a look at how many losses they have, and if they have a great amount of losses but controlled within a short amount, that is a good trader. A greater amount of losses with a smaller amount of gains, but gains to magnify the real top side of your portfolio. That means that you're not afraid of taking a trade based on signals, okay, team? So definitely remember that. We have to become great losers before we become great winners. And that's the way it's done always, team. All right, so please remember, team, do not take anything of which I show and iterate within these videos as any form of financial advice, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool, team. But with that said, I wish you well, a very, very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios, team.